Hello, everybody. Today, technically, is March 17th. So it's St. Patrick's Day, and but you're receiving this on March 19th, and we're planning for March 20th through the 26th. That's what's happening. I have some stories today. I have little stories here and there because a lot happened this week, and it's interest. Well, I don't think it's outstanding, anything like truly amazing, but yeah, I just found as I was kind of going through my week, I went back and did this area. I was just like, oh, there's some things that happened that I can talk about. So, yeah, and yeah, I'll start off the stories. I am really excited to use this tape. This is sterling ink, but I was waiting until springtime, and you know what? There is beautiful, gorgeous weather out there today. I think it's getting up to 57, which is high for, sorry, I'll actually hold this up so you can see it. Down a little. There we go. In the Seattle area, that's nice and warm. Spring for us, like 65 is super nice. And then, then we get into the 70s and it's almost like summer for us. I'm trying to see if there's a top and a bottom to this. I don't think so. I mean, this looks kind of like a top here, but they come in all over the place. It's kind of see-through. Let me see if I can find the start here. I'm just so excited to put this color down that I think I'm trying to decide where to put it. I think I'll put it here because I have some room, and I found, oops, let's see. Let's make sure all my equipment is working. I had my screen turned off so I couldn't see what I was doing. So it looks like this. Isn't that amazing? I love like ink blot type, like watercolor. Yeah, it's really beautiful. But when I put it down, you can see the stripes through it. So what I'm thinking is almost there. Almost right there. Let's see. Will this be even? Yeah, look. Okay. We're doing this. We're just starting right in. We're just going for it. And let's see if I can line this up correctly here. Correctly or to my standards, right? To what I think. Oh my goodness, that is gorgeous. That is cheering me up today. That and the weather. I almost did this recording with the window open. I tried that, but it was too many shadows. And then I was almost going to do a mix of both of them. Wow, this is going on really well. But the lighting was just too weird, so I just went back to my normal lighting here. And let's see if this is springy enough. I guess I went a little long there. That's fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's all good. So yeah, okay. That's making me happy already. And then we'll do just like this pale green down here. Bring on spring, right? And I do like living in an area that has seasons. I don't think I could live in California. Is there a small possibility we might someday? Possibly. Depending on work situations for my husband. But I would see it as maybe like a couple years at the most. But I don't think I could do it permanently. I have a lot of family in LA, and so it would depend if it would be LA or San Francisco or something. I don't know. That's way out there. Speaking of work situations, we haven't heard anything from his work. And so part of the reason is that usually Disney is very upfront about things. I have seen a lot of other things where they will let people know things right away. But his boss had an accident and had to go to the hospital and has been recovering for that for almost like the day after they announced the layoffs. So it's been like, he may know. He's such a good boss that I think he would have let everyone know, but he may just be out of the loop and not letting people, but just not informing people. That's fine. We're getting down here to these. So this is the clarity one. I always have it linked below. This is the March candle of the month. I guess I started doing it at the beginning of the year. Actually, it was inspired by Jen. Jen, if you're watching. Oh, poop. Why am I not remembering your channel? Live, Laugh, Love with Jen. That's what it is. So Jen, thank you for kind of inspiring me to do kind of a candle of the month. It's just kind of fun. And also takes all the pressure off of, sorry, I just bumped my camera. Takes all the pressure off of like, oh, which candle should I use? Well, no, I'm just using one for a month, so it's all good. Okay, we got the tape down. I got some other spring ones here from Sterling Ink. I'm trying not to bump because the tripod's a little different today. It's actually resting on the desk. So I noticed it was like vibrating when I was bumping things. So yeah, these are just making me so happy. I'm just like jumping into getting some color here on the page, just having some fun with spring. Yeah. Put this on the weekend here. Have some flowers growing up here. Let's see. I think I want some pink up here. I just like that spot up there. And then some blue. I've had these for a couple years. Maybe more there. It's kind of wonky, but it is. It's fine. I like how I wrote something right under there that now perfectly fits. So luck, pure luck. Okay, and then these are one of my favorites. These are sweet peas. I think this is either carnation or cornflower. I'm not sure. But these sweet peas, let's see if I can get them up without them ripping. Let's see if I can start into any of my stories too. Let's see. I'm gonna have this kind of right here. Kind of like that. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to move that. It's so dainty. We're good. We're moving on. Let's see, what else can we put? Well, I like these that have kind of a like a polka dot to them. And I don't know which. They're oriented this way. So I'm going to do... It's kind of like the pinks and the... Trying to do random. I don't do random, but although this is me practicing random. Honestly, that's kind of what I do. And then these are like the snowdrops that have been in bloom this last month, actually. Let's see if I can get these off the page. These are kind of older, so let's see here. I'm gonna have them kind of coming up the side here. Yeah. Um, I think I'll save, I have a couple more there for another time. I was going to see if I can use one of these little flags. These have the same, I used these a couple years ago I would use these for like paydays. We get paid every week now, so it's not as important to note, if it's a payday week or month or something. We've been paid once a month. We've been paid on the 1st and 15th. We've been paid every 2 weeks, and now it's every week. Been through it all. Let's see. What else? So, because of all those colors, I feel like I can go here, and I kind of want to pick this bright yellow for therapy here. And this time I'm gonna erase this. Yeah, I haven't even gone into how last week went. I'm just so excited to have some color. And then this pop of yellow here. Yes, please. Yes, please. I guess usually I put the time. I am a visual person, so it really does help. I'm sorry. I know that's moving the camera a lot. But if I move the camera now, it's going to mess up a lot of things. And let's put this one, so it's 10:15. And we'll do this a blue because some of these blues are popping up here. Yeah, my chiropractor's going on traveling. And so I put a note here to schedule my second one in April. He's traveling in April, and so he only travels a month ahead. Schedules a month ahead. So, and then this is kind of penciled in, although I think that's pretty permanent. Let's pick another color. How about this teal color? So, story time. We have our teacher conferences, and it's always kind of a mix because it can be bittersweet. There's usually moments of, he's doing really good in this, but he's struggling in this. And we've been hearing this this is the 7th year now. It's hard. It's hard. I thought something was being supported at school that I kind of found out was not. I've been feeling a little like not much support was happening through our learning support. And then it made it really clear that his teacher was kind of carrying more of the brunt of it than, that the specialist should really be handling. And so it was kind of hard to hear that, but then I realized, that's because things need to kind of switch around a little bit. And I thought back to what our things were at the beginning of the year, like what did we want to have at the beginning of the year? And it was to have him transition into tracking like his own assignments as much as he can. It's hard. Executive function is hard to keep track of all those things. And so it had me reflecting on like, when did I get organized and when did I start using planners? I started using, weekly planners. I don't quite remember. I know there was some stuff during college. I know I had like to-do lists in high school. I think I flip switched in middle school where it was just like, okay, I need to keep track of everything because I am not understanding or I'm losing track of things. And I did it out of like some fear of like, what would my parents say if I was not getting good grades anymore? Because in elementary school, they'll be like, oh, where is that? And then you go and find that. You get a reminder from the teacher. But then middle school, they stopped doing that. And they just say, here's all your missed assignments. And then you're like, oh, crap. Like, I need to go back through and fill in all these holes. And I think in that process, I started going, okay, I can be on top of these things and I can put them all together and keep track of things. But, you know, weekly planning like this, I've been doing probably I was recording some of when I was working in an office. So that was 03 on. I don't remember like in the very early 2000s what I was doing, but I definitely had a planner in like 2004, 2005 on from there. And I would hop around. I realized one of those earlier ones, and I kept them. I still have them. They're not all in one place, but they're in, I don't think I got rid of any. And for me, it's like, I can't remember the past very well. My memory is not great. And it never has been. It's not something I'm worried about. But I have them to go, oh yeah, that happened. I save receipts for that reason too. It's like, oh, that's when we went to a restaurant or a movie or on a vacation. But like the whole vacation could have maybe 2 receipts. It doesn't have to have like tons of stuff. But it really does clue me in on when those exact dates were. And I've made spreadsheets where I can keep track of like what address I was at certain years because I do not remember. So I need to log that information somewhere and to know like which job I was doing, that kind of thing. Anyway, we talked to the teacher. I was hoping to get maybe a little extra time with her. We couldn't. She had to go. So I'm going to talk to someone on Monday here for learning support, and we'll see. So the past couple of years, he's used some digital ways of tracking his stuff. When he was remote for 2 years, his software would keep track of everything. So he could go to the homepage and see exactly what he was missing. And because it's remote, that was the only way that they could do it. They had all the directions there. It was very clear. This year, 4 assignments out of the whole year are up there, maybe 6 of the whole year are up there. So we don't know. We have no idea what's going on in the classroom. She's like, yeah, it's all on paper. And I'm like, well, I understand doing it on paper, but we need a digital tracking system because that's what works for my son. And so we were hoping to have him get help entering these things in whatever platform he was using. We said Asana, we said Habitica. We brought those up at the beginning of the year. She said, oh, let me just make these daily little, and they're like little pieces of paper he brings home with just the assignments for that day. Well, those started getting lost. He was really good at bringing them home for a while. Then they started disappearing. Then we got really busy with my own health stuff, with my husband's work, with, it just got to be a lot. And so I really wish we had hopped on this in January. Like, I'm just really disappointed that we lost some time because now, like, we're ramping up to the end of the school year and he hasn't had this practice time. So I'm formulating a time over the summer where we're going to literally practice middle school in our house. We are going to time things. We're going to have 5-minute breaks and then move to another room and then do a little bit of homework. Now, it's not going to be like 50 minutes and it's going to last 6 hours. No, he wouldn't. He would rebel and he would not do that. What I'm talking about is like he has never swapped classrooms that quickly within a day. And a lot of kids haven't, right? When they go to middle school. But with his executive function skills, he'll be like, I just follow other people. I do know there is going to be some help for him. We may end up getting him a digital watch just so he knows the next thing he needs to go to. I think, after a month or two, it'll be okay. The swapping will be okay. It's just staying on top of all the assignments. And what I've heard through a friend, a very dear friend, you know who you are right this moment. We talked about this 2 nights ago. Was that she was saying like almost everything is in the digital organizer, and that I'm just really hoping almost everything is in there. I understand there's outliers where they have to like create a model and turn it in. Well, as long as it's like in there so that the grade is in there, I don't know. I really don't understand why this teacher is not putting stuff in. I honestly don't understand it because so many other teachers did. To me, it's not, I can't, but I won't. And that's what really bothers me. It really bothers me because my son needs written instructions and we do not see any written instructions. I understand she has her hands full. I understand that teaching is super hard to any teacher out there and former teachers. I've been seeing what you've been doing, Jen. Is like, hats off to you, because I do a lot of kind of like home support through everything, but I do not want to be homeschooling him. That is not my expertise. I will sit down with the stuff provided, but I will not like come up with lesson plans and things. Although I do that over the summer a bit, but that is not what I want for him. I don't want my worldview to be the only one he sees. I want other worldviews for him to be exposed to. And this is not any knock against homeschooling at all. I think there are people who do it out there very well. Very well. I'm just not. My focus is design and coaching and all these other things that I'm doing. And that's where I want my energy to go. And I do have a lot of confidence in what they're learning. I do think that exists. I just, I'm not one to, it's taking a lot off our plates. Like this I think I mentioned last weekend, I don't remember the last time, was we did 5 hours of work on one day and 3 on the other. And that's because he's kind of sitting in the classroom and not doing a whole lot. I think his previous teachers expected more, and he's feeling like, oh, this teacher's more lax because she doesn't care as much. No, she's staying away because there's outbursts going on, and so it's working for him to not do as much. I'm not against any of his outbursts or anything like that. That's just something that's going to happen because he feels his environment around him, and that can be a lot. But also he needs to be doing a bit more work in the classroom, and I have seen him do more work at times. So it was really kind of heavy on the heart after we hung up. It was like, well, what are we doing now? So I just said, hey, can we have I keep calling it Word because I never actually used Microsoft Word that much. I did buy a license to it on the Mac for a while for my business way back in the day, but I didn't use it much after that. I usually use Google Docs, but I keep calling it Word. Anyway, I said, can there be like a Google Doc that we type up his to-do list and he can add things and you can add things? And let's not make it like a whole thing that he logs into or anything like that. Just a document, because they actually did make one on Thursday that broke down this big project he's doing and what to do every single day. And so I'm hoping maybe that's something, instead of all these little pieces of paper floating around, just have it in the doc And mostly he is the one entering things into it and then crossing things off. And that I can see it too. I think it needs to be like a 3 or 4 share on there. So we just know, and then it can, that's the thing about digital. It can move, it can breathe, and it can update on its own. And when you put things on paper, you can cross them off. But if things shift, like I can move these stickers, it's much harder to kind of represent that here. So that's why I worked in web design, because I could always update a website. It can always have something like a typo. I can fix it. I hated print because it was so permanent. I was like fearful of all these typos going out there. Anyway, so this was our last week. I actually got quite a bit done. Yeah, there's still a couple things hanging. I did right after my plan with me last week, I got the mixer posted on Facebook. So it's kind of been up since Sunday, or I'm trying to think when. It might have been right after the plan with me on Friday. So has it been up a week? I don't know. It's at least 5 days, and I had a bunch of people chiming in this morning. I think it's partially paydays and the weekend, and they're thinking like, hey, maybe I could buy something over the weekend. I had one scammer kind of person. But other than that, it's been, someone's interested, but they were totally lowballing. I'm like, I'm not like in that big of a rush to get this out. So we'll see. I don't really care. I know it needs to go. I know I don't want to just donate it or give it away. I want a little bit for it, right? It's a KitchenAid mixer. So, but actually, there's another story. One guy who contacted me was like, can you, guarantee me that this won't get bogged down like the one I previously got? And I said, I reread his message a couple times because at first I was going to say, sorry, it's as is. But then I'm like, wait a minute. I think this guy is making maybe a lot of bread or something. And I said, I think you need a stronger one, which is why we upgraded. We got one of the bowl lift ones, or lift bowl, whatever it is. And we got it because my husband does a lot of pizza dough, and we needed something with stronger watts. And so I learned the difference between them was that the ones that have bowls that lift up instead of tilting, they have more power to them. And that's mainly why we got it, because my husband mostly does like breads and stuff like that. I'll do our eggnog bread and kind of like sweet stuff sometimes, or cakes or things, although he does too. But yeah, I just recommended to this guy like, hey, I think you're not going to be happy with this one. Why don't you go search for these other ones? Because I think he's like, oh, there's a difference. What's the difference? And so I sent him a quick thing. He's like, oh, thanks so much. Because now he's out looking for the right thing. I couldn't promise him anything. The other thing is that our KitchenAid is pretty much 20 years old. We got it for our wedding shower, which was kind of in April or May of 2003. So it's like exactly 20 years that we've had it. And yeah, we just needed to upgrade. But it's still like solid, and I posted like a video of it running so people can see that, and they're like, is it reliable? I'm like, I've had it for 20 years with no problems, but it's still selling it as is. Like I have no warranty on this thing. And I'm selling it for like $100. So, you're welcome to try it. We have a plug in the garage. Check it out. But other than that, I can't guarantee anything. So one of the things that when I was reviewing this last week was like, what worked? Well, I had my wins down here. I was like, I went down to adjustments here, and I'm like, wait, I forgot to put wins on the top. So our wins was my lovely friend who I know is watching. was giving away this kind of table with some baskets in it. And thank you, by the way. And it was a really nice piece, but I kept looking around our house and there was like no way it would fit anywhere. We're packed in here. I would like to get rid of some more stuff, but I love furniture pieces. Oh my goodness, I love furniture pieces, especially ones that keep you organized. And so you can see, like, if there's something that will help get organized, I'm like, could it possibly? Anyway, so I ended up picking it up on Wednesday night, and then I delivered it Thursday to my mom, and that all worked. And for me, I really kind of go into this questioning of, do I want to do it right then? Should I postpone it? And I said, no. Like, we just had our conferences, we just had dinner, and then I was like, okay, let me stick to my plan. Because I'm also have been like really careful this week, because if you've watched my other videos, in February I had to go to the ER because of my period, and there was just a ton of excess bleeding. I'll just say that much. It was scary. And so when I was having my period this month, that started the beginning of this week, I was really nervous. I am seeing a new OBGYN. I wrote a complaint to the old one because I saw my old one about 2 weeks after my ER visit. And she pretty much just brushed me off. That's in some of my other plan with me's as well. They did have a talk with her. That's it. That's all they're going to admit to. They're not going to admit any fault. They're not going to say anything happened. They're just going to indicate that they talked with her, and they could have been like, yeah, I don't know what she wanted, but you know what she expected of us, meaning me, expected of them. So I am looking to see about taking it up a little further, because still I get a lot of dismissive stuff with doctors, and I'm a little sick of it. So anyway, going into this week, I was like, I'm going to take it easy. I'm going to like really cut down on much exertion and stuff. But yet I went and picked up a table and delivered it to my mom. It was lightweight, and I spread it out. I didn't like do it all the same day. I took my time. And then I had my friend on one side and my mom on the other helping, and just, I was observing, and I was seeing, like, because we had moved a table right before I went to the ER. Like, I don't think that was actually what caused it, because it wasn't immediate, but it could have strained it a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. So far, as of this Friday, right now, everything's going really well. Really well. So my anxiety is going down. My blood pressure was high at the beginning of the week. It just was. I was taking it last couple days. Well, I've been doing kind of every other, and it was high on Monday. Very high. Yeah. But it's nice to kind of go, okay. And I talked about it with my therapist. She, what did she say? There was something I could say to myself. Now I've completely forgotten it. But, yeah, no, it's good. It's good because I need some successful cycles behind me to show like this isn't going to happen every single time. It could happen again. Yes. We'll see what my new OB says in April. And as I've mentioned before, I think I'm just heading towards hysterectomy. I am done. And I don't want to be anxious every single month until these subside, you know. I'm almost 45, and, you know, it's beginning perimenopause stuff. But still, I don't want to deal with this for 10 years either. So, what else? So I put in an order for my meds, but they're really backed up. So I'm just kind of waiting for those to be shipped out. And I should get a 90-day supply, so that's good. Yeah, it's kind of quiet. I know they said, don't book it again. Don't try to go in there and try to create another one. It's just going to take some time. So I'm trying to wait it out. Usually if I need to do it within a day or two, I have enough pills right now. If I need to do it within a day or two, I can do it locally, but I'm just going to give this a go. We'll check in next week. We did have our first mow. It was on this day that I thought it was coming. It was just really late in the day. It was like after 5 o'clock. So, but now we're on it every other. And so we won't have it this coming week, but it'll be the next week. So I might pencil that in now. And I'll just kind of put it here. That may be our mowing time. Usually they just kind of look to see how their caseload, whatever client load is, and fit us in. Yeah, and because my blood pressure was a little high, I'm going to take it again today. I think then I've been meaning to send the blood pressure to my doctor. Oh, we just took care of this. We're getting some boxes. Oh, another one should be coming today. Oh, we got this done today, and we got some math done. I put my son's stuff on here too. The math is almost done. He's getting a haircut right now. And what are we having tonight? Oh, tacos tonight. Although my husband usually makes nachos. He's like, okay, I want to have the nachos. They're crunchy. And I get it. I love like tostadas and stuff like that. What did we have? We had leftovers. We had like, and then meatloaf. We're trying to kind of eat up things right now. So it's been kind of we're just kind of going through, and we're going to get groceries next week. Next week's going to be kind of our bigger shop. And so we just kind of got supplemental things, which is we got this. And yeah, it was my dad's 71st birthday. So this is another story. I've been talking about like the Irish stuff on here, and I'm like, I don't really connect with it as much because we didn't really. The last time I looked at my mom's percentages of things, because she went and did one of the websites where you spit in a tube, I thought we were mainly just kind of English and Swedish and some German from her side. Today, she sent me this text of a picture of her thing, of her percentages. She's like, look, I'm 22% Irish. And I'm like, oh, wait. So I'm like half that, but because my dad was mainly German. And I was like, huh, well, look at that. Like, I'm more Irish than I think. Now on my husband's side, he's part Welsh, actually, which I find really interesting. Yeah, so I don't know like what my son is, but we really do have some Irish connections. And I knew there was like this Welsh connection. And I think at the time I was like, when I heard my mom's results, this was a couple years ago, I was like, oh yeah, well, I kind of always felt this connection. And we always kind of talked about it. But then, as I said last week, that my grandfather changed his name to an Irish name. But then today, when she sent that, I said, so he was just raised by his mom. We don't know who his dad is. So I could be related to some of you and I wouldn't know. That would be my great-grandfather. If he actually changed his name, not to like just some random name, but actually to his father's last name, and then we just don't know who that is, then we really are using a family name. Instead of, the story is he picked one at random, whether it was a street sign or from the phone book. That's the story. But he's no longer with us. But we don't know. We don't know. But we do, actually, my family does have some, because what I was kind of thinking was like, if my mom's 22%, then maybe that name really is something that is connected to our family. So it would be really interesting to see if her DNA hooked up to somebody else that we don't know about. I think she searched some, and in the last couple of years, I think she let the membership kind of lax a little bit, and I don't think she's checked like lately. So we'll see. So yeah, like I felt kind of like not as connected, but now I feel a little bit more. I still don't think I'll get the sticker yet next year. I have no idea. It's a journey. Life is a journey. Doesn't matter. I do think it's very important to honor ancestral lines and for others to be able to honor their ancestral lines. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Anyway, the website I've been working on, I had a question that I sent in to people. Sorry, I needed a tech question answered, and they just got back to me and it fixed what I needed. So I'm really excited. I feel like that key thing, and I have the word key here as I'm saying key, that important thing is not holding me back from getting the rest of it done. So that feels really good. Sleep has been a lot better. The week before, it was kind of hard. The, seasonal allergies where I'm coughing in the middle of the night. I have a different cough syrup that I'm using. I might have mentioned it, but it's really helping. We have, let's see, we're going to do Red Robin on Sunday. We let our son pick that. We have a gift card, so it works out. I want him to get some work done this weekend, and I want him to feel that payoff of him like controlling that night and saying what we're going to have, and that he has say in that. And we do cook 2 different meals because he is very picky about meals. But yeah, we wanted to have him feel like he's part of things. Tomorrow night, I have no idea. It might be a Fend night. It might be, I'd have to see. We're really, oh, I know what it was. It's chickens. It's a salad with chicken on it. Chicken salad. Not like the mixed one, but we have a salad that we pile on everything. Let's see. Oh, I'm filming now. And oh, there was someone I was going to contact. So yeah, I checked this off because I wanted to celebrate getting the mixer listed. As I said, that's my win. Following my plans is what worked. The pills that I took and the rest that I took, and then having a win of like the teacher breaking things down. I guess that goes under wins. I don't know. The ER bill still hasn't come. We need to figure out a way to track assignments, and the website bug was holding me back. Lessons, pace myself, but get things behind me, like get things done. Like I was like, okay, I'm out delivering the table. I'm going to go check my PO box so I can come back and go, those things are done, and not push them off. It was a let's practice not pushing things off week, and there was only like a couple things. So I practiced that because it was only pushing off a couple things. If I was pushing off the whole week, I don't think, to me, that's practice. That's like you're going through something that's really hard, and you do have to just delay everything. pushing off a couple things means kind of like, to me, that day is really hard, or maybe the next day is hard, but I can pick things back up. But when I practice not pushing off things, it means that I'm listening and going, oh, I'm questioning my body, and I'm saying, can I do this right now? Am I capable? Will this wear me out too much? Because I don't want the pendulum to swing too much into like doing too much or not doing enough. And so to me, when I practice this very slow pace of getting things done on a week that I was being very careful, it felt really good. It felt like I accomplished that because my intentions were to take care of my body and then still plug along with things. And so I'm just a little baffled. Not baffled. I'm a little surprised that I didn't push things off, because that's kind of the habit that I have. And then I would pack things into more one day. Now, it works for me sometimes to have days where I'm inside the house and I'm doing thinking things, and it really is like a train where my to-do list are all these like heavy thinking things or phone calls or something. But the next day I'm out of the house and I'm doing these things where I'm running around and grouping my errands, which a lot of people do. But for me, like, it's very hard to split those two. If I'm going outside the house, it's really hard for me to transition back into a thinking mode for like that afternoon. I need to like go out, do these things, and then come back and see if there's other things I can do with my body of cleaning or organizing or, just something else. And then the next day, if I start off the day, like, it really is like a train. If I start off the day, and we find that really works for my son too. If he starts off the day, even watching like one cartoon on a weekend, and he has to do homework that day, it's so hard. He's kind of like almost instantly derailed. Could he listen to an audiobook and then some homework? Yes. Could he do a little like modeling? He has these model kits. And then transition to homework? Yes, but not a TV show. Like that, he's just like, I want to go back to the show. I want to watch more. I want to watch more. Because it's one of his self-soothing things. And it's just very powerful, right? It's very powerful to consume media that way because you want to live in that world. It's very like, I just want to live in it. It feels comfortable. It's like sitting in a warm bath, and I don't want to get out. What else? Excited for spring. At some point, the mixer will be sold. We'll see how it goes. I'm not worried about it. And we have a long weekend right now, and it'll be nice. It'll be nice to kind of, because it feels a little like Saturday today, but it'll be nice. So I was worried and anxious and let down a bit, but, things are picking up. Like, so like an emotion right now would be settled. I don't know if this is an emotion, but I feel settled. It's just how that's why I don't usually put emotions there. I think I put feelings, and I feel more settled in things. So let's go back here. I want to do this probably today. So she won't get them until Monday, but that's fine. Oh, another story. Okay. Emails, plural. Well, I sent the one, so that's fine. I don't know why I had multiple. So cleansers and moisturizers is something let's see if I can spell moisturizers. I ordered and played around with, and I'm really liking. So it's something I'm going to carry through the next couple weeks. I'm getting my markers here. This one. Here we go. And my bedtime routine has been whatever hand soap is next to the sink. That is what I use to wash my face. So it's much more harsh on your skin. And then I would just put a bunch of hand lotion on, like, or just body lotion, right? It's not specific to your face or anything. And since I've had a lot of success using a lot more different hair products, I'm now getting into just facial cleansing stuff and just stuff that makes it feel good. I don't wear makeup, so it's not like I need to take off makeup. That's just my preference because I forget that I have it on, and I will rub my face and everything will go everywhere. But yeah, this was really interesting to dive into. It feels better. I'm practicing. So yeah, for the rest of the month, maybe into next month, it's good. Music, I've been playing more in the car instead of at home. We haven't started The Mandalorian yet, so maybe this weekend. So I'll leave that there. The website I have been working on, and I will continue to do so. I did pay this. Oh, I didn't do that. That's something I could put in today. Let's see. So we did this, and we're doing the IEP stuff this weekend. There's a questionnaire you have to do every 3 years where the parents do this long questionnaire about how we think he's doing at home. And so it takes both my husband and I to sit down and do it all. So, but we know we need to do it this weekend. So yeah, some of this feels, and I don't think the ER is going to come up on a Friday. I think it's going to be next week. So I could put this HRA expense in. And I want to say like the mixer listing. Did I already say that? No? Okay. I'm going to break it down into listing. So the listing's up. I don't really feel like there's needs to be any changes to it. So cell mixer is going to be on here. And then still my desk drawers. I've been getting into them, and I don't see a whole lot that needs to be taken out of them. That's why I really haven't jumped onto that. But I also believe when you take everything out of a drawer and then put it all back, you find things. So it's kind of like that. I did organize our tax returns. The paper, we have a bunch of paper envelopes out there, and I did go out and do that. And there was some filing with that. Where's my gray marker? Here it is. Oh, that's purple. Let's just put these out here. Here's gray. So that was nice too. We had like, my husband just found some papers in his office that were from a bunch of previous years. And so like one piece of paper needed to go in every single tax return over the last 7 years. And so I had to pull them all out and put one in each, so we could file them away. But that was nice. And put the papers in them. I had to sort through them first. So I have been doing things. Oh, and I also refilled spices. So I went through all of our spices, which I have a video of me organizing all the spices. Some of them were getting low, and I needed to know which ones to buy. And I had to buy a lot less because we did have some refills. So I did this and this. And so the desk will move. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So I could send my blood pressure numbers on Monday. It might be better to do that anyway and take them over the weekend. They were just so high at the beginning of the week because I was stressed. So let's do that instead. And have a follow-up. It doesn't say FU. It says follow-up. Health and wellness. Oh, I have a chiro this upcoming week. Flow. Where will we send it? Let's see. So Still have to pay the ER bill, which is all budgeted. We just have to pay it. And then the Flonase HRA I'm going to do today when I get done here. Anything else? The rest is all just keeping up with stuff. So website. See, I'm a little less picky on my writing today. I think the last week or so I was definitely pickier, and today I'm going with it because I kind of want to move on to other things. IEP thing will be done. So I really do want to bring flow here and music. And then I want to say facial routine here instead, because it's combining all of those. I got 3 new products. So I have a cleanser, a toner, and a moisturizer. And we're going to see how that goes. Do I expect to look totally different? No, not at all. But I do want to feel a little better in terms of just how I like when I feel my skin. That's all. Yeah, I think we're having a lighter week this week here, because the week after is going to be a camp week, and I'm going to record a reset video for April. My goodness. Thank goodness April Fool's Day is on a Saturday. Oh, how'd everyone do on their clock resetting? We reset ours probably around 5 p.m. on that Saturday, and it worked for me. And I kept making jokes to everyone, meaning my son and my husband, saying, it's 6 o'clock now. It's, and I would say the forwarded time. And I actually, on my laptop and on my phone, set it to the manual times, because I look at those so much that it helped to see when my phone flicked on to see that advanced time. And so for me, it worked. And so when it came to the next day, I didn't feel as bad. I've felt absolutely horrible in the past. And so it was really nice to be like, no, I feel kind of ahead on this. But then my husband, come Monday, he's like, I feel horrible. I'm like, yeah, you didn't, like, he kept saying, no, it's not that time. And my son kind of did the same, and they had kind of a rough week. I'm not saying it works for everyone. I'm not saying that. Everyone has their own methods, but it really helped me. It really helped me. Now, then 2 days later, I got some really bad sleep, because I was coughing all night and stuff like that. And so that morning I had to rest. But for the most part, I felt like what I set up for myself. Now, other people were going like to bed maybe 10 to 15 minutes earlier every day until that time. But I feel mostly okay now. It takes a week. I personally think we should stay on this time right now. I think what they talk about is permanent daylight saving time. And I think, yeah, because it really messes with people and it's unsafe, honestly. Anyway, picking a card. This is, if you're new here, I pick a card for the week, and it just kind of reminds me what is kind of important and what my mind puts together with the card that I pick to kind of go, oh yeah, that feels really good for the week. So this week is 8 of Seeds. Ooh. Let's see what this is. Seeds, the work you are doing is paying off for you and also your community. Look how hard they're working. It's like they're canning or something. I really like that visual. So I do feel like I've been working really hard on my work stuff, and that feels really good. 8 of seeds. And then I just write the quote here to kind of remind myself. Actually, I was going to say it's going to be kind of hard to fit things in here, but I'm just going to go with it. Maybe I need to do less this week. The work you're doing is paying off for you and also your community. For you and also your COMUN. There. That says community. It's all good. There we go. It doesn't have to be exact, but when I read community there, it works. So, what color? Where is that green? I was just looking at how cool this green is. It's a little off though, but this green's a little closer. So, oh, but that is the green. That's right. I was gonna say, wait a minute. So this green here is this green. So definitely tracking sleep, water. I'm not going to track BP anymore. I'm going to finish up this weekend, so I'm going to take that off. The website and using music. And then I'm going to say homework for my son. We're going to do things a little differently this coming up week. So, yeah, it's a little brighter version of what's here. Now this is Sterling Ink and this is Laurel Denise, so they are two different. And then these markers are Makselife. So those are the three systems I pretty much live within. Try to make these as straight as possible, but yeah. And then I actually, let's look at these colors. Yeah, I think this green will work above. Wasn't sure. It might be a little bright, but I think if we put some here like that. What else? I know this is a kind of a long one because I had stories to tell. This next week is a full week. So here to here. Oh, I just realized I have laundry to forward. But I can write that the laundry is done for today. I love doing laundry on Fridays. I love that I don't have to do it. Like, I would rather sit and fold this afternoon into the evening than worry about it this weekend. I have other chores to do this weekend, but I don't have to do that. Laundry is not a big deal to me. For some reason, it depends on the machine that you have. It depends on where you're living. I feel like you can have a really, like, everything flows for some environments, but if your machine is acting up or your water is hard or your closets can't hold what you need, it really hampers down the whole thing. No pun intended. hamper. But I think here, like everything with that, I'm going to check it off later. Everything with ours flows. Like we have places for everything. So when we dump it out on the bed, I'm like, I'll just fold this right now and put it all back to its places. To me, it takes about the same amount of time as emptying the dishwasher for me to fold. The amount of socks and underwear I have is enough for about a week. I don't have really much more than that. I mean, probably like 8 pairs of underwear. Excuse me. And then I have 6 pairs of socks and then probably around 6 pairs of like sleeping socks. That's it. Or at least that, for the most part, that's like 80% of my collection of what I have in that drawer. And so when I put things back, there's space for all of it, and it's not tons. I don't know. I really am trying to figure out, why is it easier here than other places? In our previous house, our laundry room was on the opposite side of the house. So I'd have to bring it all the way, like literally the whole length of the house every time, both ways. So I personally think that's hard. Here, it's really not that far. Maybe 20 feet. So that makes a big difference. I think that there's no stairs. Yeah, I mean, we basically bring it like 20 feet and then 20 feet in, and I will put on a podcast or watch a quick video, and it's all folded and put away within 15 minutes. But that's one load, right? But I probably end up doing maybe 2 loads a week, maybe 3. No, it's pretty much 2. We keep our laundry really low. It works for us. And we also have like a bigger capacity too, I think. So I have my appointments on. Oh, I have this. So the last part here, thanks for bearing with me, are my little icons. We have recycling on there, and our Ridwell is on the same week that our recycling is. They're both recycling services, and our lawn mowing and our yard waste are on the same week, just like last year. And so that just feels really good. And let's see. So I think I want to put a blue one up here for the Ridwell pickup, because I have all these pretty colors. And I already have that one on there. Ooh, plants. So what I do is I do look at my plants every week, but I kind of do like major maintenance and then minor maintenance. So if they need any big help, it'll be on every other week. Now this I need to squeeze in here. For our food order, I got it started because we're so low on things right now that I know might as well start the list now, right? I haven't gotten my BP meds yet. So I'm going to put that here. I have a feeling that's going to be a thing this next week to track down. What else? Don't need to guess at the car. Nothing car trip related. Although I think I want to put a little car on last week, because then I can look back and see right here I was doing some car errands. And that's what I'm kind of looking at this week. Do I have any, like a day where I have car errands? Not meeting up with anybody. Nothing on there. I'm kind of being conservative with things. Like, I don't think I'm really doing that. Let's see, but we will put, I'm going to record next Friday. And I did put out, so I don't know if I shared, but last week, the dog ate my homework, basically. I think I shared this, was that I recorded a podcast and then the service ate it. Literally, they reset all of their servers to right before. And this time I recorded it as quickly, well, reasonably quickly, and then I downloaded it right away so that I had it. So yeah, it went out. I think it's really interesting. I think this week's was on body check-ins. So it's all about like checking in, seeing what you need, that kind of thing. And it's linked up below. If you go to my channel, it's one of those little links in the top banner. So I think that's it. Hopefully another podcast goes up here in the plan with me next week. And then record here. Or I guess this is the record. Whatever. And then film. I think I'm going to rewrite these because these are kind of messy right now. Food, plants, and this schedule that. So, website is number 1. This last week was so weird. I'm looking at this week going, everything seems much more predictable. I am all for my son having days off, but this one was like, he didn't have like the real time off, but he wasn't in school, so I had to plan things differently. He has a book fair this next week, so we already, we're the whole Scholastic thing where you charge a little bit and they can go off and buy their own books. So he's set with that. And he gets to help out at the book fair, which I helped out a couple years ago. So he's really excited about that. Really excited. And last weekend we went to his local library to get some books to finish one of his projects. And he's like, I love the library so much. I could see him working in one. I really could, because it's so quiet and he loves the quiet. And for neurodivergent people, it's a really important thing. So that's where I'm going to wrap it up. And I hope everyone has a wonderful week. I hope in some areas of the country you're starting to feel a little hint of spring. I know it's not everywhere, but I hope some kind of it's this kind of late March into April that can be kind of exciting. So take care, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye.